Hello and welcome to another lesson. In this lesson I'm going to be showing you how we can change the playback parameters of a glissando. So there are two ways of adding a glissando to your score, either via the lines window, or we can do this via the keypad by clicking on slide. So I currently have the same glissando given to three different instruments, flute, harp and violin. But although the notation for the glissando is very similar, if I play you these glissandi, you'll realize that each instrument plays them completely differently. So if you listen closely, you'll realize that the flute's playing a chromatic scale, the harp's playing a major scale, and it's only the violin that's playing a true glissando. Well, as always, if I select my glissando, I can then change these settings in the inspector window. And you'll see that under Gliss Rit Excel, there is a drop-down menu currently set to instrument default. And what I can do is I can change this to play either a chromatic scale, or to play a scale based on the white notes of the piano or on the black notes of the piano, or I can set it to be a true glissando by setting it to continuous, which sounds quite unusual on instruments like harp and piano. In the inspector window, you'll also see the option to change the glissando from linear to early or late. And from my experience, this doesn't seem to do very much, if anything at all, for glissandi, because I think that this feature is mainly for accelerando and ritardando. In the inspector window, we can also format the appearance of our glissandi under the lines section by defining the line style that our glissando should use. We can, for example, make our glissando line wavy, or we can give it some text. Now, let's talk about harp glissando. In the real world, we can be very specific about the notes that we want a harp player to play in their glissando. That is to say that we can define the scale that the harp player should use. However, up until now, you might have realized that when choosing our glissando settings in the inspector window, the type of scales we can choose is very limited. We only have black notes or white notes or chromatic scales. By the way, a real harp can't actually play a chromatic glissando anyway, so really we only have two realistic scales available. However, there is a fantastic plugin that you can get that is appropriately called Harp Gliss that allows us to play back all sorts of harp glissandi. We simply select two notes, then find and open up our Harp Gliss plugin. And up the top of our plugin, we can set the exact notes that we want the harp to play in its glissando. Now, just a side note, if you're writing for harp and don't have a lot of experience with the instrument, I would suggest doing a little bit of research first, because harp as an instrument is a little bit inflexible regarding what and how it plays particular material. In this plugin, we can also set the velocity of the beginning and end of the glissando, and the plugin also generously gives us the option to display the notes in the scale by selecting Show Tuning as Text, or we can show the tuning as a diagram. And when we hit OK, the plugin then inserts our pitches as invisible MIDI controllers, so that when we play back our material, we can then hear our customized harp glissando. And what's really fantastic about this plugin is that we can also use it on any instrument, not just on the harp. So that's it for this lesson, and I'll catch you in the next one.